If you're trying to figure out why your Facebook ads aren't potentially optimized correctly and your ROAS is adjusting and the Facebook iOS update just occurred, so you're like, our numbers are so skewed, we're not getting the ROAS that we used to get, well, stay tuned because I'm going to break down exactly the step-by-step process that our agency uses to audit a Facebook ads campaign specific to Shopify stores and e-commerce stores. So make sure to stay tuned. Hey guys, my name is Chris Morano. I'm the managing partner at Blue Water Marketing, a Facebook ads agency and Google ads agency that specializes in e-commerce growth, scalable omni-channel marketing for growth. And we specialize in taking campaigns that used to be good, not so good anymore, determining why they're not so good anymore, and then optimizing based on the results. So in this video, I'm gonna break down exactly how to audit your Facebook campaign to drive maximum results. So first things first, what is a Facebook ads audit? Well, it's the same as a Google ads audit, which I went over in this video right here. Go ahead and click that and then come back. Facebook ads audit is essentially a full dive into the ad account to ensure that everything is working properly, and then to identify what is not working properly, and then lastly, what we can do to make it work properly. Easy enough. So let's hop in. Step one. First step is to really break down the business account itself. We want to make sure the number of pixels, the pixels that are firing properly, how the pixel was installed onto the Shopify, WooCommerce, or any other platform to determine, is it triggering the correct events? We want to make sure, specifically for Shopify and e-commerce stores, that the events are triggering properly. So page views are great. We need to know those. Add to carts, checkout initiated, payment method, purchase, form submission, email capture, all of these different things. Now remember, a couple months ago with the iOS update, we can only have 8 conversion events. So that's what we want to look at first. We need to do a deep dive into the business to understand what conversion events need to be triggered and which ones we're good to have, but unfortunately because we can't have them anymore, we need to delete those. The next item is to ensure that the domain of the business has been verified. This, again, based on the Apple update, is something that now needs to happen. We need to verify domains. So we're going through these, we're checking off our boxes to ensure that each of these steps have been done. Because if your domain's not verified, well, then your data is gone. It's a mess. So first step, pixels. Second step, conversion events. Third step, domain verification. The next step is we're going to look into make sure that there's a conversion API set up on the Shopify or e-commerce store. These conversion APIs were implemented by Facebook to offset the Apple update to make sure that we're able to track, at least on the conversion level, the correct information. So that's our first step in our audit process, is to make sure those items are all categorized correctly and implemented correctly. Because if not, if we're not tracking conversions, if our domain's not verified, if the conversion API isn't there, well then chances are we're going to be missing a whole lot of data when we relaunch this campaign. The next step is we're going all the way to the ad level. Now for some businesses, you only have 1 or 2, maybe 3 campaigns running, but some of the ones that we look at have 15, 20 campaigns running, $50,000 a month ad spend, and we need to look at what things are working properly. So we're going to go into the business manager, specifically into the ad account level, and start diving into the information. We need to look at which call to actions were most effective. Was it learn more, buy now, shop? All of these call to actions we need to put into a Google sheet that basically says the click-through rate, the purchase conversion value, the ROAS, all of these numbers just based on the call to actions. That's going to give us some insights into how people are interacting with these ads to ensure that we're running better conversions, or we're getting rid of the learn more, because people don't want to learn more about a pair of sneakers. They want to buy now. So we're trying to break apart these call to actions to ensure that when we relaunch these campaigns, the correct call to actions are there. Now, another thing we're diving into is the naming convention of these campaigns. And trust me, I'm at fault sometimes. I'm just like BWM retargeting 51721. Is that really effective in terms of a campaign name? So we're going to dive into the naming conventions of all these campaigns so that we can categorize them based on the flow of the sales funnel for our clients. If it's top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, re-engagement, we need to categorize these campaigns based on the goals and the life cycle of these customers. So we've broken apart call to actions, naming conventions. Now we're going to start diving into the ad set level, which, as you know, is where all the targeting happens. So we need to start looking through the custom audiences and the lookalike audiences. Is it that the lookalike audience of everybody who visited the website in 180 days at a 1 to 5% converted at a way higher level than the people who visited the website in 90 days at a 1% level? So we're going to break apart all these lookalike audiences to establish which ones are most effective. Is there certain parameters in percentage changes and lookalikes that are effectively driving a higher ROAS than maybe the page engagement lookalike audience of 180 days to the Facebook page? Or maybe the video views lookalike audience at a 10% is performing way worse than the video views of the 2 to 5%. So hopefully you guys have all this information. You've created your lookalike audiences, your custom audiences are built out, your interest audiences that have turned into custom audiences are built out, and it's time to dive into the world of audiences to establish who is purchasing, who's delivering at the lowest bounce rate, the longest time on page. We're breaking apart all of this information to the point where you kind of start going a little crazy to establish which audiences are purchasing. Because the goal of this is to eliminate the non-purchase audiences and scale up the purchase audiences. The goal is to make more money with Facebook ads, and that's what Facebook wants you to do. They want to spend more money because you're making more money, therefore they're making more money, and everybody is just living in this happy world. If you like this video so far, please give me a thumbs up. YouTube algorithm loves it, and we just hit 100 and something subscribers, so that's a pretty cool little milestone. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed. So let's get back into it. We've now done our internal checklist to make sure domains are verified, naming conventions, conversion API, pixels, all of that's done. We have looked at the call to actions. We have also looked at the custom audiences and lookalike audiences to determine which ones are most effective. Now, this is a data overload, so make sure to export this information to like Google Sheets where you can quickly categorize by click-through rates or ROAS. Make sure you're taking all this information and putting it into a Google Sheet. It'll make your life way easier. The Facebook dashboard isn't the most user intuitive, so exporting this information will be the best for you. So we've broken apart all that information. The next step is the placement review. Now, depending on how your ads are running, we run ads specifically to Instagram stories. So we know that those ones are in their own category. We run newsfeed ads, video ads, audience network ads. Now, we don't run audience network ads any longer because many times the conversion value is low, and with the iOS update, anytime you get somebody off of the Facebook app, you're potentially losing them in your funnel. So we want to go through these placement reviews. Which placements have delivered the highest ROAS or return on investment for your product? You're going to be looking at your feeds, your articles, your stories, in-stream videos, suggested videos, right column placements. You need to look at all these placements of your ads to determine which ones have been most effective. Now, you can't run this over a 5 or 7 day period. This needs to be months of data that you've aggregated and that you're looking to break apart, because maybe there was 2 days where you had some right column placements that drove super high ROAS, but if you break it into a 3 or 6 month period, you're operating at like a minus X ROAS. So you want to make sure that the time frame is set effectively so that you have data that represents the truth in how people are interacting, instead of just like a new campaign launched, oh my God, we have an 8x ROAS on a right column placement, and it just doesn't make sense because that doesn't happen. So in regards to the placements, if you're choosing automatic, then you're gonna still have to sift through that data, but hopefully you'll be able to sift through that data and then implement manual placements. That's how we do things. We never tell Facebook, hey, put these ads wherever you want. We're gonna tell them exactly where we want them so that we have more control over how people are interacting so that we can digest this data more effectively. So you have all of this information. You know which ads are performing, where they performed, which call to actions were most effective, which drove the most amount of money for your business, but you still think there's a better way you can be doing things, and this is where competitive analysis comes in. Luckily for us, Facebook went through some serious privacy issues in 2018, and now they have released the page transparency tool. And this is something that's on the left-hand sidebar of any business page. You can click on it, and then you can view your competitors' ads. And so maybe that'll shed some light into how people are interacting with your ads based on the top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, and re-engagement. So you can see how your competitors' ads at least look, what are their call to actions, and then you can optimize yours based on the data that you have and now the data from your competitors. From there, you're gonna wanna redo your whole strategy. You have data now that's gonna show you exactly what to do next. So you're gonna take the best performing ad copies, the best performing images and videos, you're gonna take those and now combine them into new campaigns with new audiences that you've already digested, and that you understand that the lookalike audience from 5 to 10% of people who have visited your website in the last 90 days was way more effective than the 1% lookalike of people who have visited your Facebook page in the last 60 days at a 5% difference. So you're gonna take all this information now and you're gonna redo your campaigns to be the most effective Facebook ads campaigns in history. And that's how you're able to achieve high ROAS, get more money, spend more money to make more money, right? Because that's the old saying, takes money to make money. So once you take the time to digest all this information, redo all your campaigns, relaunch, and then scale, that's where the magic happens. So if you're looking for more information on a really how-to step-by-step guide, go ahead, click the link in the description below. We have like a 3,500 word blog about how to perform an audit for your Facebook ads campaign. Again, if you guys liked this video, found it helpful, interesting, give me a thumbs up. If you really liked it, you can go ahead and click that subscribe button and leave me a comment below. I always like to answer questions for anybody that asks. You can go to some of my other videos. I'm always there to respond. I want to help you guys out. This becomes super complex once you hit a certain level with your e-commerce store. How do you get from 6 figures to 7 figures? Well, optimization and understanding the data is the key. So thanks for checking this video out, guys. If you want to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, all of the above, our social links are down below, and we'll see you next week.